Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for entertainment purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders. May the 4 victims rest in peace and may the correct justice be served. I found this to be very interesting. These are the tattoos that Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk took after the murders in memory of Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Are they trying to tell us that this is the order that they died in? That the killer started with Maddie, then Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Could it be possible? What is interesting is this was the tattoos that they took, I believe, within the first couple weeks of the murders. So could this have been the alibi that they gave the police? And if this is the order the victims died in, then it's very interesting. If Maddie was killed first and Kaylee second, are they trying to tell us that the couple was killed the last? I have a hard time believing that. The reason I have a hard time is because of the GRUB truck. You hear people calling out Xana's name, yelling out, Xana, Xana, no Xana. Then you hear them continue yelling her name. And this went on for at least a couple of seconds. And you hear the GRUB truck manager turning on Careless Whisper, the song by George Michael, the famous classic tune, and that is a song about betrayal. It's kind of strange that he played that exactly when the crowd was yelling. What are these people hiding? And what was going on in the GRUB truck? Is this the order the victims were unlived in? Or was this the order that Dylan and Bethany gave for whatever reason? Why did they not attend the funeral? Were they told maybe by Moscow police, by the chief, not to attend the funeral so that the alibi and timeline would not be asked by the public?
With ABC News, just to follow up on what she asked, so the other 2 roommates were there at the time of the attack?
All the information that we have from our investigation is that yes, they were.
Okay, but they were unhurt.
That is correct.
So is there any explanation as to why it took so long then for someone to call 911? You have surviving witnesses to an incident at 3 or 4 in the morning, and the 911 call didn't come until noon?
I don't think I ever said that they were witnesses. I said they were there.
Heather Roberts with ABC News. Just to follow up on what she asked, so the other 2 roommates were there at the time of the attack?
All the information that we have from our investigation is that yes, they were.
Okay, but they were unhurt.
That is correct.
So is there any explanation as to why it took so long then for someone to call 911? You have surviving witnesses to an incident at 3 or 4 in the morning, and the 911 call didn't come until noon?
I don't think I ever said that they were witnesses. I said they were there. We don't know why that call came in at noon and not in the middle of the night. Would have we loved for that to have happened? Yes, but that's not how it took place. So
The surviving roommates were not witness. They were just there. That is one sentence I can never get over. Either they are witness or they're not. In the beginning, it sounded like they were just there. It didn't sound like. That is exactly what the chief himself said. They were just there. Dylan was supposed to be sleeping in the ground floor, the first floor, and like the chief said, the surviving roommates are not witness. He said, I didn't say they were witness, they were just there. So Chief Fry, when did they become witness? And why weren't they named witness in the beginning? They just exposed themselves there. This is why I personally believe it was two separate attacks. Because Maddie and Kaylee was alive. We can see that they were in the GRUB truck and they reached home at 1:56 a.m. My question is, was somebody waiting for them at home? The reason I say that is the GRUB truck is, I believe, one of a camera footage or GRUB truck Twitch footage that I've been analyzing for over 7-8 months. And no matter how much I explain and I point out these pictures, these people, nobody's been questioned. Not only me, all the YouTube creators, all the social media creators. These things are not things to ignore. Look at the man in the black tracksuit that you see. And look at hoodie guy standing behind him. Look at David Lodge on the left. That's the Sigma Chi fraternity boy, young man who had a fight with Xana and Eaton. He's the man who's allegedly on steroids. Allegedly, the 4chan even named David L. Pay attention to how all these people, look at their heads, look at the directions they're facing. Everybody's watching out for especially Maddie and Kaylee. Look at them all looking at Maddie. I still can't get over the fact that some people actually believe that Jack John Showalter was there to escort the girls and help them. That's possible. But I don't think that is what happened. You hear Maddie clearly saying, F you, mister. I don't like to use swear words, but it is important because that is exactly what came out of Maddie's mouth. And she pointed her finger directly towards Hoodie Guy and Jovito. David and his two friends, his two buddies, turned their backs towards a GRUB truck. They turned completely towards I think, is it a shop window or whatever it is, the mirror there, the glass? And they do that when Kaylee and Maddie was entering. It took me time to find exactly this picture of the GRUB truck, and there's a reason. Jovito, if you're watching this clip, and for people who support Jovito and say that he's just part of Idaho Moscow and he just came to buy food, and if you all believe his alibi, then let me point out to y'all that he has lied several times, and I'll show you one. This is the man who said, I asked the GRUB truck manager did you just give the girls free food? And he said, yeah. And I said, yeah, that's all right. They really needed to go home. You remember he said that? Jovito, I've been trying to point this out over 10 months. Now you have it. Do you see Kaylee? May she rest in peace. Do you see a hand touching the debit card machine or the Visa card machine, credit card machine? Do you see that? Stop lying about Kaylee. Kaylee paid for food. Nobody bought her food. This is a young woman who our parents said is very independent and looks after herself well, works hard for her money. At least when somebody is no longer here in this world and their life was cut short, last thing you should do is make lies upon them. Don't lie about this poor girl. You can see her pain. That really upset me because I believe in this saying, once a liar, always a liar. Once you start lying to the police and to the world, what else is left? He said the girls could barely stand on their feet. I do understand if he's talking about Maddie being a bit intoxicated, but Kaylee was standing well on her feet. Another thing, you were in the corner club, Jovito. What happened to these girls? Were you pouring them with alcohol? It's a small pub. If you had any conscience and you said, I have a 3-year-old daughter, why didn't you stop the bartender from over-serving them? There's rules as a bartender. I've done that for a couple of years in my early 20s and I know how strict the rules are. You're not supposed to be serving young girls who can barely stand on their feet like you said. What happened at the corner club? That is the only place I can't analyze, but I know and I believe strongly that it started from there. The reason that I believe that is Kaylee and Maddie ordered the private shared driver at 10:15. He drove them to the corner club. They were there at 10:20. What happened after that? So the girls were there at least 5 hours before they left the corner club. Imagine being in a small pub like the corner club. Anyone will get drunk in a minute. And it was a Vandals game night. If the girls left their drink somewhere and stepped to the toilet, anyone could have roofied their drinks. This is all my speculations, and these are, some of it are facts, like Kaylee paying for food, and that Kaylee and Maddie went to the GRUB truck at 10:15. They ordered the same cab drive, the private ride, share ride or whatever it's called. The reason I say that is because that came out from Kaylee's sister's interview. Now pay attention to this whole crowd. When I say that the GRUB truck was full of surveillance, that the girls were being there was surveillance on the girls, and it wasn't from the government, besides the GRUB truck. I think this was a live stream where they were showing the other students how and when these young students were unlived. I would really like to know who this person in black is and the woman behind him. As soon as he comes in, hoodie guy is standing behind him and they seem to be texting each other. That's how it looks like. Now hoodie guy is gone to this other side, but pay attention to how this guy is looking at Kaylee and Maddie. When people say that drugs were involved, I hardly like to go there, but this is the only time I ask myself, could drugs and money be really involved in this quadruple murders. Follow the money. It could be possible that the Sigma Chi fraternity boys were involved in the drug involvement too. And if it's true that Maddie flushed drugs that are worth, was it 300,000 or 380,000? If that is the case, then it's very possible that a quadruple happened because of that, because that is serious motive. Or in case that was what Maddie told Adam. And if Adam was involved, then they alerted the boss, and the boss got the Sigma Chi fraternity boys to do surveillance on the girls. Let's not forget, people get killed, unlived, for drugs each and every minute in this world. Crime organization is one of the biggest money laundry involvements. So if this was about drugs, it could make sense. Who's this guy and why is he looking at the girls? Why does he come a couple of minutes after the girls? Look at him and the woman, how they're looking at her. This couple at the cashier I showed yesterday, this guy with the cap near the cashier seems to be wearing a reading glasses or some kind of transparent glasses that I find strange. That guy with the football jersey keeps on following the girls. He goes from side to side. Look at how many people are actually paying attention to the girls. This isn't normal. This is a surveillance team, I believe. And I'm so fed up of showing this. Look at this. You will see him putting something up in Maddie's mouth. And I wanted to explain something to the people who keep on saying it's a ticket. Guess what? Whatever he put in Maddie's mouth is blue color. I repeat, blue, not white. Guess what? Everyone's carrying a white ticket here. So explain that. Pay attention to David L. and the two guys standing behind there. When the girls make the entrance, they turn back. They turn their backs towards the GRUB truck. And when the girls go to the cashier, pay attention to David L. and John Jack Showalter hoodie guy. Look at their reaction. They're looking at each other, kind of nodding their heads. Like I brought the girls here. That's what I believe. There they are, all three of them. Look at how they turn back. And now pay attention to the interaction between hoodie guy. This is the only time he takes out his cap. He's going to go to the corner and he's going to give these guys a look. Watch what's going on here. Look at that. Hoodie guy looks at David L. quickly. Here's the guy. Now pay attention to him and David L. I always believe the guy in the black tracksuit is the leader of whatever's going on. See, he takes off his phone. Now look at hoodie guy. Please watch this. Pay attention to them. Where is he raising his hand? Is he trying to cover something? They're texting each other. When the guy in black texts him, the guy puts down his phone, then hoodie guy picks up his phone. This is about just paying attention. Now they finish their messages, and Hoodie's guy is told to go and look after the girls. Everyone has a mission here. They all have the same motives, or maybe different motives, but they all have certain targets. There comes the woman. The guy is going to turn soon and look at Maddie and Kaylee. I wonder if it's his money that was flushed on. If there was any money that was actually flushed on, because let's not forget that's allegedly. That was a rumor. We don't know if it's true or false, but it's worth mentioning when there's so many fishy things going on. Look at him. He looks very distressed. For a large amount of money, anyone would be distressed. He looks like he can't wait. Aiden is busy laughing at the girls. Pay attention to these fools here. The reason I call them fools is because I personally believe that they knew what happened to the girls. The girls were there for 40 minutes. Look at everyone paying attention to them. You'll see soon. And this woman and this man look out of character. They keep on looking at Maddie and Kaylee. Look, they look at them now. Who are they and what do they want? With Maddie and Kaylee, look at how they look at them. They don't take their eyes off them. Look. And they're laughing at them. All these people are just watching the girls and laughing at them. This girl with the cowboy hat, I'm sure is from one of the sororities. Pay attention to, she keeps on calling people on the phone. It's like she's waiting for something. And then you will see she gets a couple of pictures and the pictures don't look right. It's the same pictures that Joe Vito and all were watching. But I don't understand how come she got them a bit earlier. Number 8, number 9 are allegedly Sigma Chi fraternity boys. I think most of the boys that were present here were the Sigma Chi fraternity. That is one of the reasons I always say I believe the 4chan poster. I believe after something happened in the party in the Sigma Chi, because the police were called, you can see that on News Nation and on Banfield, the police were called to the Sigma Chi fraternity. And I'm sure the report is on a gag order. They said nothing was actually, it was just, I guess they didn't recognize it as anything serious. But where was the couple between 9:45 to 1:45 is the question. Now pay attention to her. She's going to get some pictures on her phone. That is why I'm starting to wonder if Xana and E actually died before 2 a.m. They died before, they were on live before Maddie and Kaylee even left the club, left the GRUB truck. I wonder if it's Joe Vito is giving these young men orders or directions what to do. Strangely enough, many people have white Air Force and Air Force and Nikes on. Quite strange. He never takes his hands out of his pocket. His hands are red. David Lodge, can you stand still? He never takes his hands out of his pocket, especially the left hand. Is he calling hoodie guy? I wonder. See, this is when I'm starting to believe if something, if the pictures were starting to be sent around. Because you see many people in the GRUB truck with different expressions and their phone besides them. Or they're watching their phones. Look at Jack Showalter and David Lodge and his friends looking at each other. And especially Showalter is the one who turns around and looks at him. David Lodge is standing there. He looks ready for action or something. He hasn't been acting right. And I really believe that Maddie felt some kind of way with this Aiden guy. She must have noticed that they're laughing at her, or she must have noticed something from the corner club, because these people came from the corner club too. Strange. And Jovito's everywhere. Do y'all remember that Jovito said that he doesn't know Jack John Showalter Jr.? Do y'all remember that? And he forgets himself in the interview and he says, I was cracking a joke with the fraternity boys. So at least he admitted he knows the fraternity boys. But he said he did not know Jack John Showalter. I'm going to prove to you his second lie. He lied about Kaylee not buying her own food. May she rest in peace. Pay attention to lie number 1. I can't get over this one. I'm sorry, the picture's not still, but just pay attention to John. See? Jovito's pointing and laughing at the girls. Now watch. All these people have been watching the girls. Now watch what he does. They're cracking a joke. There. Wow. Is this what you do to someone that you do not know? Why is he lying? He cracked a joke, they laughed hard, and then Showalter gave him a hug. Second lie. Jovito needs to come clean and explain if he knows these students, if they're working for him, if there's something going on there. I don't trust Jovito. I don't trust the guy in the black tracksuit that I showed you, and I don't trust the manager of the GRUB truck. The reason I say that is they are all adults. It doesn't make sense why they're acting so childish. You have the manager in the GRUB truck showing his finger and playing careless whisper. And he clearly said, people have fallen. People have fallen. What does he mean by people have fallen? That is one thing. Then you have Jovito hanging around with 19, 20 years old, which does not make sense. Are these boys shorters? Are they dealing for him? Look at all of them with their mobile devices, phone devices out. The guy in the cap has been paying attention to this girl paying attention to the girls from the beginning. If they go from the left, he follows them to the left. If they go to the right, he follows them to the right. It's not only Showalter who's been watching these girls and following them. The girls look like they don't even want to be with Showalter. So I don't understand how people say that Jack Showalter is just an innocent guy trying to follow the girls home. He drove all the way to Boise. He uses K-bar knives. There I said it, K-bar knives. That is the knife that is in question in this case. You have Dylan Mortensen with large knives that are showed. You have Emily Hunter's girlfriend with a large knife, a sword. She took pictures of that. Are we supposed to unsee what we've seen? All these students have knives, most of them. Showalter had 2 K-bar knives on his Facebook. What happened to these innocent 4 students? What is this Jovito doing with young students? Are they dealing drugs here? Allegedly. It's about time we ask the right questions and stop ignoring what is right in front of our face. What is this? Getting away with murder? A murder she wrote? Or murder he wrote? Trigger warning. What is going on? Why is this Aiden guy, the one with the long hair, laughing at the girls 24/7? I really felt sorry for these 2 girls. Really. Imagine being surrounded by death, being surrounded by students that you trust. These people have been following these girls from the corner club. They got them drunk, must have roofied their drink. No wonder the girls can't stand straight. I'm the only YouTube creator who says it like it is. This isn't fair. We want the correct justice. We don't want any kind of justice. We want the correct justice. I don't think Brian Christopher Koberger came to the house with a kill kit and had time within a couple of minutes to unalive 4 people in a brutal way. There was blood everywhere on the walls. He didn't have time for all that. There's a reason I always analyze the GRUB truck and the Banfield, because those 2 clearly show. Those 2 have interesting clips. And I don't believe for a second any YouTube creator who says, no, they're innocent innocent people. They're innocent students in the Banfield. We have all been that age. We have been drunk. No, we don't run away from the police. When we were that age and up to today, if the police stops you, you stop. I've taught all my children that. You stop for the police. That's a law. And those 3 looked in Banfield, the 3 young lads and Saeed. I can't believe they're ruled out. They were never ruled in. They were watching the crime scene pictures. Even this girl in black who's looking directly at Kaylee, she was one of the girls watching the crime scene pictures when Kaylee and Maddie left. When everybody was calling Xana's name, I have the pictures she was watching. They're terrible pictures, really heartbreaking. And I wish the family took action, because I don't only think if BK is involved, he ain't the only one. Or maybe BK wasn't involved. It's one of the 2. BK has no motive. Unless he was rented is the only way I can think of. But even then, he would have left some kind of evidence, touch DNA, after such a horrific crime. Doesn't make sense. Everyone in the GRUB truck is here in a mission. They all are actors. I don't mean crisis actors. They all are acting some part, following the girls. This is a surveillance team going on. Sometimes I believe pictures say 1,000 things. Look at the girl on the right hand, his face. She's in disbelief. She doesn't believe what really happened. Look at her face. And that is the dash cam when the police officer came and took it. That is where the thud was heard. Look at the girl. Look at her eyes. She's thinking, oh my God. We were hearing the noises yesterday, but we couldn't call the police. We are scared for our lives. Or is she maybe thinking, oh my God, did Jack D or Jack Showalter or the Davids? She must be thinking it's the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. Allegedly. I think the guy's name is Dakota. Even he doesn't want to get involved. Which neighbor would want to get involved in a quadruple when you know who did it? If it was BK who did it, I believe they all would have been snitching left, right, center. They'd be like, it's him. It's him. It's that weird guy. It's this guy. People would have pointed their fingers. They wouldn't have waited 47 days. That is why I believe it's the students. They know. Jovita knows. The GRUB truck manager knows. He showed no empathy in the interview. I hope they find them. Yeah, I hope they find the people who did it. That's what he said, and he was smiling. Some people smile, when they're distressed, but not in that manner. He's an adult man. He's not 20 years old. The manager's a grown man. I don't understand what happened to people not having respect for deceased people. What a shame. Pay attention to, they're taking picture of a footprint. Isn't it very interesting of the location they're taking it? It's in front of the house. But look at the dustbin. The bin is right behind the woman. And that's where the glove was found. So the person who ran out, I personally believe, ran out from the front door. That's why the front door was left open. And maybe the person was putting his clothes in a bag or something, or taking off his gloves, and one glove fell off. I wonder, is that a purse? Is that a newspaper? Did it fall from the crime team forensics? And pay attention to another thing. None of the forensic team have on the medical gear that they're supposed to wear. No gloves. Pay attention. You can see the woman who's standing is hand from there. She's holding the number 3. None of them have masks on even. Oh my God. Boom. This is a proper boom. You know why? How can they tell us that it's BK who did this when there's over 100 people in the crime scene who are roaming around without medical gear, touching their nose, touching their hands, shaking hands, I'll never forget. What is going on? They actually tampered the scene, if you ask me, more like, instead of collecting evidence. Guys, I've never noticed this before. Look at that. What is that? It has to be, trigger warning, red liquid. It has to be blood, isn't it? Did they drop a towel? Or it can't be a chunk of paper. Now that is strange. That is blood. Wow. And if I'm not wrong, guys, pay attention to something black is near. Something black is there. Is that the glove? Was that the glove Chris McDonald found? Or is this a glove Chris found? Because it was near the bin. Now let's go back to that picture. Wow. What could that be? That's blood. Clearly. And this is something I wanted to discuss before I end this clip. DM stated she opened her door for the third time. Third time. After she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM described the figure 5'10" or taller. BK is over 6.1 if he's not 6'2". 5'10" would not be nothing like BK. Male, not very muscular, but athletically built, very bushy eyebrows. Shall we start counting all the people who have bushy eyebrows from the students? The GRUB truck manager had bushy eyebrows. I'm not saying he did it, but he had bushy eyebrows. I'm just showing you our description. Can lead to further speculations. Almost half of the students had bushy eyebrows. We had Saeed who had bushy eyebrows. One of the three young gentlemen in the Banfield stop had bushy eyebrows. Adam has bushy eyebrows. Jovita has bushy eyebrows. That's 5. You'll get my drift. She said, DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller. Male, not very muscular, but athletically built, very bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in the room after seeing the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. Pay attention. Dylan opened the door 3 times. This is a house that is really old, inside and outside. If you walk on the steps, it makes creaky noise. Last time we checked, BK had eye vision problems. He had vision problems. Snow vision, was it? I never knew that BK had hearing visions. I mean, hearing issues. I've never heard that. So BK would have definitely heard DM opening the door first time, second time, and third time. Because if it was him, he would have been afraid for his life. He would have been watching out for whoever got up. But guess what? Whoever did, they did not need to watch out for the surviving roommates, because I personally believe the surviving roommates knew exactly where in the house. There was rummaging going upstairs. I'm using the words that were used in the news even. Dylan opened the door and said, "Stop making noises. We're trying to sleep down here." And this is the classic. The next day, when they realized the 4 students were brutally unlived, the surviving roommates called the Sigma Chi fraternity boys first before 911 because they believed that the Sigma Chi fraternity boys were upstairs in 1122 Kings Road. Wow. I repeat, DM called the Sigma Chi fraternity boys, Hunter Johnson and maybe Hunter Chapin, his brother. She invited them to the crime scene after she had access to the crime scene for 8 hours before the police. Frozen shock. How could you be in a frozen shock and you're still texting Bethany Funk and she's texting you back? What were you saying to each other? That is the Sigma Chi fraternity boys upstairs rummaging? That was the words that was used in Banfield. And that was the words, I believe, they got from people, they got from their sources. I still believe this was two separate targets. E and Zana were unlived much earlier. I believe when the girls reached home, if they made it home safely, I believe some people were already waiting for them there. These are my thoughts, I'm entitled to it, and I believe the surviving roommates know who exactly it was. They must have left the door open for the intruder to come in. And I believe, and I personally believe, that when the girls came in, they came into a horrific scene. They ran outside. Maybe Maddie made it up to Taylor Avenue. That's where a black coat was found. And I believe she was dragged back in. Or maybe Kaylee and Maddie were walking the dog and they were attacked. That's the only thing that makes sense. But I'm still baffled and shocked, actually, by the white towel, it looks like, with red liquid on it. I was just recording it and I saw it behind. I have this habit of, since I was, I think, a little girl, I used to always watch behind backgrounds. I like to watch pictures and all. I used to love puzzles. This is the picture that I'm baffled over. You see the crime scene forensic team? Look at the woman bending down with the camera, taking a picture of the footprint. And now pay attention to whatever is behind her. It could be anything. But for me, it looks like a piece of cloth with blood on it, with red liquid on it. Let's go closer. That's how it looks. So y'all can tell me if there's anyone who's good in such things. Let me know what it is. Please like, share, and subscribe. Justice to the victims. Bye.